Okay, yeah, sorry, my hair's wet. It's still from my shower, and I'm not wearing any makeup yet, but anyways. So I was watching some videos by the Fine Brothers, you know, the so-and-so reacts to whatever, and one I just watched was teens react to the Newton School shooting. I'll put a link in the description for that. Now, you know, they are teenagers, so they don't know as much as maybe someone who, or even they're adults that know as little as they did, but they were saying a lot of stuff like, um, you know, like mentally unstable people, you have to pass tests, and, you know, it's the availability of guns, and just kind of you know, empty, not thought out, ignorant, kind of thrown around excuses that they are just really repeating from other people that they hear, because they're asking for an opinion on something that they haven't been able to develop their own opinion on, so they're just giving the same opinions that they hear everywhere. The thing is that a lot of those opinions are not very educated and are somewhat kind of biased. Now, the whole issue of guns versus no guns in the States does have a lot of evidence backing up the no gun side of things, but not not completely. It's a really, it's not a black or white issue. It's a gray issue, because if you look at the States, they have the highest rates of gun violence in all of the world, and they also have they have an extremely high gun availability. I don't know if they're the highest or close to it, but anyways, they do have guns are very available in the States. Whereas you can have guns elsewhere in the world, like Canada, you just got to get a hunter's permit and you can have guns to go hunting with, and like you really just need to apply for a permit, and there are different permits for different things to get a gun. So it is possible to get a gun, and you can even buy like a gun with a permit, of course, and bullets and shit like that at the local department store, like Walmart or Target or something. Yeah, they recently opened Targets in Canada. I haven't gone in yet. Anyway, so it's not like they're the only ones that have availability to guns, except they have, I think, more availability to guns, which is part of the problem. Is people mentally unstable or otherwise. It's also something that I have a little problem with, is they keep on saying all sorts of tests, mentally unstable, mentally ill, blah blah blah. When really, if you're mentally ill or mentally unstable, as they're saying, does not mean that you are prone to violent behavior and that you're going to go killing people, you're going to go hurting people. I myself have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, social anxiety disorder, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So you could consider me mentally ill and mentally unstable. However, I've never harmed anyone. That I know. Like, I don't go out like I'm gonna go kill people or whatever. The only person I actually threaten to kill is myself during my depressive episodes, which brings me to my point of impulsivity, like my first point on impulsivity. Thing is that one of the greatest victims of gun murder, whatever, is suicidal people, because the gun is there, it's available, it's quick, and, you know, a lot of times the people who commit suicide, it's more of an in-the-moment impulse that if they survive, they regret it later. Now, not everyone. Some people will plan out their suicides completely and want to die for like months, constant thinking that. But a lot of times it's just you're really, really upset in the moment and you want to kill yourself. I know this from personal experience and from, you know, I'm a huge psychology, sociology person, and there have been studies on this and everything else. So, and I mostly learned this from a Cracked article that was cited, so I'll put the article in the description. But anyways, so like people, you know, they're upset, and then they have that gun, which is quick and effective to kill yourself. Shooting yourself in the head, there's no chance of survival, no going back. Whereas taking pills or stabbing yourself, you get that second bit of time to think. It's like, wait, do I actually want to die? And that kind of time to say, shit, no, wait, what am I doing? I shouldn't, because that person's going to miss me, or I have so much I wanted that I could do with my life, and it's like, shit, why? Well, okay, 911, I need some help. So there's that kind of chance of survival with other methods of killing yourself, whereas guns, no, you're done. That second to pull the trigger, and there's no going back. So there's that, and also the impulsivity of, like, you're really angry, and in the moment, and like, let's go storm out with a gun and shoot people because I'm fucking pissed off. So that, again, the impulsivity of that. So people kind of leave that out of the equation. The kind of in-the-moment fury and anger or depression or whatever else is like that strong emotion. You're not thinking rationally in that moment. Whether or not overall you're mentally stable or healthy, you know, a mentally healthy or stable person can crack. They can have, you know, a breakdown, a burnout, whatever else. It happens. And it can be completely like a total surprise. Like people sometimes will be like, I knew that guy. That was like the last thing I expected from that person because I knew him for years, months, whatever. So it's a really complicated issue. It's not black or white. It's completely gray. And it like I hate this kind of. I think one of the gun availability is one of the big issues there. But another problem is the poor education and lack of understanding or like just knowledge about mental illness and behaviorism and all this other stuff. Because, like, I mean, there's such a, since healthcare can be very expensive, people who are poorer and tend to live in poor life situations, which contributes to having mental illness, like makes it more likely. They have no really access to mental health treatment because they can't afford the medications, they can't afford to go see the psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, whoever. Whereas, like here in Canada, for example, healthcare, it's universal healthcare, so you don't have to pay for it. The psychiatrist, to go see a psychiatrist is covered by the government, so you can get your medication prescriptions, and you can even get an insurance plan for your medication from the government. For example, I'm from Ontario, so OHIP, Ontario Health Insurance Plan, will pay for your psychiatrist, and then you can get Trillium, which is technically the national flower, but it's also the name of the insurance company to help pay for your medication. And if you get, most jobs will provide an insurance plan for your medication, and schools do too. Like I go to the local college in Ottawa, and they offer a health plan. So for your medication, so that's available there. And then there's also therapists just available, and we have the distress center you can call if you need to talk something out. Like, my school has therapists, my mom's work has therapists that you can go see, and even, immediate family can go see the therapist at my mom's work. Like before I went back to school, I was actually seeing a therapist at my mother's work. So, and not to mention there's just, as much as I hate to do it for Darren's business, which will be saved for another video, it has brought a lot of awareness about mental health, which the States just really doesn't have, because they have like near bottom ranking for education, and their health system is really fucked up. And I'm not just saying it's like, oh, you guys should have universal health care. I'm saying that doctors overcharge you for shit because they expect you to hackle it lower, but they don't. A lot of people just assume, oh, I can't, it's fixed, but it's actually, you're able to argue the price on your health bill, so they hike it up higher so people can hackle it down. Did you know? So, like, there's a lot of like, it's not just a single, should we have guns or not issue, it's what are multiple factors, because there are other countries with gun availability. It's just, you can't just look at one single aspect, because there's a ton of other aspects contributing to the, to the problem. I mean, you give a normal, healthy, stable person a gun, they're not really going to use it. Actually, most people, even if they are, like me, I'm not exactly mentally healthy or mentally stable all the time. And if you hand me a gun, I'm going to be like, I don't want to use that at all, because, one, it hurts to shoot. Yeah, there's a lot of kickback, by the way. I was in Army cadets when I was 12. Anyways, and, like, I don't want to freaking fire a gun. I'd be afraid of touching it because I want it to go off. Like, I'd be like, make sure the safety's on, and then like, okay, I still am afraid of this thing's going off. Dangerous object, stay away. I'm not gonna touch that thing. And me, I'm a perfect example of mental instability, because I've done some really stupid shit in the past, because, impulsive stuff from manic episodes, and kind of not thinking things through for depressive episodes as far as hurting myself and whatnot. So it's a huge issue. It's not just a small little, should guns be legal or not. We should do something about you should do something about the mental health care. About the health care in general, the mental health treatment and awareness, and the kind of availability for services for those in need of mental health care. Because when there's poor care from people's mental health, even if they don't have like a reoccurring, constant, like throughout their lives, kind of mental illness, if they just, they're going through a rough patch and they have no way to have no support or ways of treating it or dealing with that rough patch in their life, it can manifest into a mental illness that can develop. So really the biggest thing here is to get education, awareness, and a better healthcare system for mental health more specifically. Okay.